Look the part, play the part. Yakko sponsors Vanarama National League on BT Sport.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Vanarama National League highlight show on BT Sport. On Friday night, our cameras were at the Diva Stadium to see a big local derby between Chester and promotion-chasing Tranmere Rovers. We'll have all the action from that game in just a moment, but first, here are your headlines. York sink Eastleigh as Mills dreams of a great escape. Dagenham drop more points as Gateshead push for the playoff places. And Maidstone march on in a 6-goal thriller. Mickey Mellon's Tranmere Rovers made the short trip south to rivals Chester, knowing 3 points would cut the gap on league leaders Lincoln City. Watching this for us was the two Adams, Virgo and Somerton.
Here's Richards, who's got Alabi beyond it. Seemed to be caught by McNulty. Everybody stopped, and there's a challenge right on the edge of the area there. Well, both sets of players froze for a moment, and the referee has pointed to the spot. Well, that's a really big call for Anthony Coggins.
Well, you've got to play to the whistle. That's what I must say. I don't think that's a foul. You see Maynard pulling up. Sutton on the outside of the box. It's a good 3-4 yards outside. Nowhere near a penalty, Adam. And what a start to this derby game.
It is James Alabi. He has 13 goals so far. Make that 14 now. James Alabi from the spot. How cool was that? So confident. He hammered it home. Hughes turns away here from Joyce. Harris, who's got Hallward in front of him. Wide here is Vaughan. Good build-up play by Tranmere. Ball in wasn't bad either. And Jay Harris will strike it! What a hit from Jay Harris! Fantastic goal from the first half substitute. Picked his spot in that bottom corner and arrowed it home for Tranmere, who are on terms in the derby.
Well, there's nothing the more than they deserve in the second half, Tranmere.
It's going to be Ryan Lloyd here to take the corner. And towards that near post. Oh, what a header! Brilliant from Ryan Astles. Used to play for Tranmere as a youngster. Got that late equaliser against them at Prenton Park this season. They must be sick of the sight of it. And Chester have regained the lead here. Certainly a goal that's come against the run of play. Sent in dangerously towards Norwood. Equaliser. The substitute gets Tranmere on terms, taking up that position at the back post. And it's 2-2 here now at the Diva Stadium.
Quality ball in there. He's come on, he's made a point to his manager, and he's got a vital goal for his side.
Scott Davis sends it up towards Cook, who won his header, and it bounces nicely here for Cook! What a finish! Both from Cook and from Tranmere. That's what title winners do. They've really showed their mettle here tonight, Tranmere Rovers. Supporters on the pitch. Wild scenes at the Diva Stadium, but for the first time tonight, Tranmere Rovers lead.
He's only just won the flick on, and then he reacts to it, and you need that composed finish on the edge of the box. Brilliant finish to a brilliant end of the good game.
How big a 3 points is that?
We're going to say it was huge because Friday night we knew there was an opportunity for us there to close the gap and maybe put a little bit of pressure on. It's a local derby, so we also have to represent the football club and the fans in the right way, but to come from behind twice and then get the winner, it's fantastic for us.
Despite one defeat in their last 7 games, York still found themselves 8 points from safety at the start of play, having picked up 3 points just once in that period. They hosted an Eastleigh side who had lost 5 of their last 9. Gary Mills would have been encouraged by his side's midweek 1-1 draw at leaders Lincoln. John Parkin grabbed York's goal that day, and he was on the score sheet again after only 7 minutes, latching on to Verdane Oliver's flick on a dream start for the National League's bottom club. 6 minutes later, the experienced forward doubled his tally for the day when he combined with Oliver again to prod home his 3rd goal in 2 games. Eastleigh ended a 4-game losing streak on Tuesday when they drew at home with Aldershot. They were handed a route back into the game thanks to York keeper Kyle Leatheran, who comically failed to catch Ross Stern's free kick as it harmlessly floated towards him. Into the second half, and the home side almost restored their 2-goal advantage through Amari Morgan-Smith, but the on-loan Cheltenham man was denied by a brilliant goal-line clearance from Gavin Hoyt. The visitors were without a victory since December, but they were unlucky not to draw themselves level when Tyler Garrett's 20-yard effort crashed against the inside of the post. And with 10 minutes remaining, the hosts grabbed the crucial 3rd goal when Oliver showed good strength to hold off Ayo Obelay before slotting past Ryan Clark in the Eastleigh goal. The victory moves York off the bottom and to within 5 points of safety, but no wins in 2017 for Eastleigh means they're now beginning to look over their shoulders.
We deserve the win today. There's no two ways about that. We've deserved to win some games that we haven't. And maybe, you know, today's game might just be the turn.
You can't start a game of football 2-0 down in 15 minutes and expect a win. We are very fortunate with the goal. It's easy to blame the goalkeeper, the sun was in his eyes, but these things happen. Fortunate for us, it gave us a little bit of a foothold in the game, and we weren't bad after that. We just need to be better.
Forest Green welcomed Macclesfield to the new lawn, looking to extend an unbeaten run at home that stretches back to mid-November. But they knew that wouldn't be easy against a Macclesfield side who sat just 6 points outside the playoff places and have lost only once in their last 7 away matches. After Tranmere Rovers' victory at Chester on Friday, the hosts knew they needed to start sharply. And they did. Just 12 minutes on the clock when top scorer Christian Deutsch headed in his 18th of the campaign. John Askey's side were aiming to make it 3 wins on the bounce, and they were a whisker away from equalising when George Pilkington saw his firm header rebound off the foot of the post. Kane Woolery has been in impressive form for Forest Green since signing on loan from Wigan Athletic, and the forward was instrumental in the home side's 2nd goal of the day, showing electric pace down the right-hand side before teeing up Liam Noble to grab his 5th of the season. And the division's top scorers wrapped up all 3 points with 20 minutes remaining when on-loan Carlisle defender Mark Ellis headed in his 1st goal for the club. The win sees Forest Green climb back above Tranmere into 2nd place on goal difference, and they're now just 3 points off the top.
We played well today. We looked strong. We looked controlled. We had a good intensity about us with the ball and without it, and I enjoyed it today.
Another promotion contenders, Dagenham and Redbridge, whose home form's threatening to dismantle their title charge. They were beaten 2-0 at home in midweek by struggling Maidstone and have lost 3 of their last 4 at Victoria Road. Gateshead's positive recent form has put them back in the playoff picture. The visitors' biggest loss of the campaign was to Gateshead when the reverse fixture ended 5-0 last November, and the home team came closest to opening the scoring in the early stages, Wes York rattling the bar. Despite their struggles at home, the Daggers have the best away record in the division. They also struck the woodwork through Craig Robson. Neil Aspin's side were in confident mood, having won their last 4 games. They broke the deadlock moments after the interval. Danny Johnson steering in at the near post, his 6th goal in his last 5 games. Undeterred by going a goal down, the away side hit back. Sub Jordan Maguire-Drew going close on this occasion, minutes after coming on. In the end, it was the home side who perhaps should have made the scoreline more comfortable through Mitch Brundle, but they held on to make it 5 wins from 5 and moved to within 2 points of the playoffs.
It was a tough game today against a good side who's having a good season, and I'm really pleased with the players defensively today. I thought they defended really well to keep the lead We got put under some pressure, but I thought we withstood it well, and I'm really pleased with the attitude and the application today.
We've come and we've stuck to our game plan, and it nearly worked for us. So I'm disappointed, but I'll be disappointed again, and I'll get over the disappointment.
League leaders Lincoln were surprisingly held to a 1-1 draw at home to York on Tuesday, which ended a run of 7 wins in all competitions. They look to extend their lead at the top of the National League table against playoff-chasing Aldershot, who were enjoying a 10-match unbeaten run. After a first half of little incident, it was the home side who almost opened the scoring just after the break, when Shamir Fenelon was inches away from connecting with Bernard Mensah's cross. These two sides produced a 3-3 draw at Sincil Bank back in November, but they were struggling to break the deadlock here, thanks in part to some unusually poor finishing from Danny Cowley's side. First, Luke Waterfall failed to direct his header on target from inside the 6-yard box, before Johnny Margetts, who re-signed on loan from Scunthorpe in the week, was wayward with his finish. And when Nathan Arnold shot straight at Jake Cole late on, it ensured the game finished goalless. Lincoln's lead at the top of the table has now been cut to 3 points. They travel to Braintree on Tuesday night before the small matter of an FA Cup quarter-final with Premier League giants Arsenal next Saturday, live on BT Sport.
Everybody keeps telling us that next week at the Emirates will be the biggest challenge of our lives, but for us the biggest challenge is the next 2 games, because I just see these next 2 games as a representation of us as people, and a lot of people are expecting us to have one eye on Arsenal, and we want to prove that we're really focused, determined human beings, and that's the challenge that we have over today's game and obviously Braintree on Tuesday.
At the other end of the table, there was a real relegation 6-pointer at the Gallagher Stadium as 20th Maidstone took on 23rd Southport. Jay Saunders' side were unbeaten in 4 games, including the impressive 2-0 Tuesday win at Dagenham, but it was Southport who took the lead inside only 3 minutes when Ben McKenna met Neil Ashton's cross at the back post. After being rocked by the early goal, the hosts eventually got into their stride. They grabbed the equaliser when Jamal Loza squeezed his shot in at the near post after a superb through ball from Joe Piggott. The home side were then given a golden opportunity to take the lead in first half stoppage time when Loza showed pace and trickery to draw a foul from Ryan Higgins, penalty to Maidstone. Loza dusted himself off and converted from the spot to ensure his side took a slender lead into the break. Southport boss Andy Priest was still looking for his first win since taking over from Steve Burr last month. His side drew level shortly after half-time when top scorer Jamie Allen volleyed in his 10th of the season. But it took just under 10 minutes for the home team to regain their lead. The impressive Loza once again involved as he teed up Piggott. That's the on-loan Cambridge United forward's 3rd goal in his last 4 games. Maidstone then sealed the victory when centre-back Kevin Locko added his name to the score sheet just as he did twice in the last home game, another 4-2 victory against Chester. 5 games unbeaten takes Maidstone 5 points clear of the drop zone, but 6 defeats in 7 means Southport slipped to the foot of the table for the first time since October.
I think we made our work of it, but you've got to give Southport credit for the first 15-20 minutes. They really come at us, put us under a lot of pressure, but we dug deep and obviously turned it around, which is pleasing.
Torquay were looking to end their barren run as they welcomed Guiseley to play more. The hosts came into this with just 1 win in their last 9 matches. And the game started in remarkable fashion as referee Simon Barrow pulled up injured inside the first 10 minutes. Assistant referee Stephen Oakey eventually stepped in after a 7-minute delay. Both teams struggled to find their rhythm after the stoppage, but the game sprang into life after 25 minutes. Eamon Verma's long-range strike left Guiseley keeper Johnny Maxted helpless. Kevin Nicholson's side came close to doubling their lead just after the half-hour mark. Brett Williams' header only denied by the crossbar. Things got worse for Guiseley early in the second half. Jake Lawler's late challenge on Daniel Sparks was enough to earn him a second yellow and his marching orders. 10-men Guiseley dug in though and levelled on 64 minutes. There was an element of fortune as a long ball forward was brought down by Jake Cassidy, who calmly rounded the goalkeeper for his 8th goal of the season. And the comeback was complete 11 minutes from time. Will Hatfield got on the end of Maxted's free kick before guiding the ball past Brendan Moore. Defeat for Torquay sees them drop into the relegation zone for the first time since August, and Nicholson certainly wasn't impressed.
For 70 minutes we were very, very good. Missed a load of chances, shot ourselves in the foot. Story of our season, really.
I thought our performance was poor in terms of footballing and doing the right things in the first half especially. And then obviously you come out and you go down to 10 men, it's another hurdle, another challenge, but you know, I can't say anything more than I'm immensely proud of the club, to be honest.
Dover were looking to maintain their promotion challenge, but faced a Solihull side with only one defeat in their last 6 matches away from home. In a game of little quality, if we're honest, Dover had the better opportunities to claim victory. Aswad Thomas's close-range shot, well saved by Nathan Baxter, close to the break. The second half proved to be more of the same as Chris Kinnear's men grew frustrated. They could have nicked it in injury time. Ross Lafayette's header tipped over by Baxter, who's on loan from Chelsea. So 2 points dropped for Dover as they failed to score at Crabble for the first time this season.
Braintree went into their game against Wrexham in high spirits after only losing once in their last 7 league matches. But Wrexham had also only lost once in 8, setting the stage for an interesting encounter. And it took just a minute for Braintree to open the scoring. Harry Lee's corner was bundled home by the in-form Michael Cheek, who netted his 15th goal of the campaign. The home fans' joy was short-lived though. Just 3 minutes later, some good work down the left from Isel McLeod saw him cross for Ntumba Masanka. The 20-year-old slotted past the stranded keeper Sam Besant. Cheek then had the chance to put Braintree back ahead. After a scramble in the box, Jack Midson found the 25-year-old unmarked, but he could only head over. Wrexham have struggled to win away from home all season. In fact, Dean Keats only secured his first victory away as Wrexham boss last week against Solihull Moors. But when Ollie Shenton converted, his side looked on course for back-to-back wins on the road for the first time this campaign. Controversy followed though as 3 minutes later, Braintree had a goal chalked off. Reece Hall-Johnson's shot from the edge of the box ruled out for offside as Midson was deemed to be obstructing Chris Dunn's view. Wrexham held out for their 6th win of 2017 while Braintree were made to rue that disallowed goal.
The draw would have been a fair result. I think Wrexham done a good job. We didn't take the opportunity of taking their chances, but we had a goal that was disallowed and we have to look at that carefully because we don't think it was, but that's football. We have to accept it and move on.
We deserved 3 points in the end, other than the first 20 minutes. I think obviously 1-0 down after 30 seconds. We got a response, scored a couple of minutes later, but I think for the first 20 minutes they were the better team. They pushed us back, put us under a lot of pressure. Get long throw into the box, very direct, but I think that stood up to it from 20 minutes on. I think we were the better team and definitely deserved the 3 points.
It hasn't been a comfortable few weeks of late for Barrow. It wasn't long ago they beat the league leaders Lincoln 3-0, but since then they've only won once in 5 matches. Sutton made the 300-mile trip to Holker Street, looking to build on their 1-0 victory over Boreham Wood on Tuesday. But it was the home side who almost took an early lead. Nick Wilmer-Anderton's cross from the left wasn't dealt with, and Liam Hughes' header was cleared off the line by Dan Spence. Chances were few and far between, but Sutton's best fell to Rory Deacon, the forward who impressed against Arsenal in the FA Cup, hitting his left-footed shot only just wide. Deacon's day did not end well as he was sent off in the 87th minute after appealing for a penalty. His complaints were too strong for referee Carl Evans, who showed him a second yellow card. Sutton managed to hold out for a draw, extending their unbeaten run to 3 matches, while Barrow have won once in 6.
It's been another occasion where we get a club that comes up and gets men behind the ball, sits deep against us, and You know, we've had chances. It's just that little bit of being a little bit more clinical.
A huge encounter at the bottom end of the National League saw North Ferriby face Woking. The hosts were without a win in 5 home matches coming into this one. Woking had lost 12 away games this season. It took only 7 minutes for North Ferriby to take the lead. Taron Hare's cross was headed in deftly by Jake Skelton for his second goal of the season. But on 25 minutes, Woking were back on level terms. Referee Joseph Johnson allowed a quick throw-in, resulting in Gozi Ugwu bundling home from close range. Tension was high in the second half as both sides pushed for a big 3 points, and it was the home side that did just that. On 69 minutes, Robbie Tinkler did well down the left and pulled the ball back for Reece Thompson, who fired a well-placed shot past Michael Polk. So a vital win for North Ferriby sees them move to within 4 points of safety, and their manager Steve Howsham was pleased to get one over their relegation rivals.
It's like I said to the players, you know, the good guys always get the rewards at the end, and we did. And you know, proper sportsmen won the game today.
Two mid-table sides, both on a dismal run of form, faced off at Meadow Park as Boreham Wood hosted Bromley. It was the home team that started stronger. Matt Payne's cross wasn't dealt with by Alan Dunn, leaving Angelo Belanta with a chance to tap in, but he could only misfire wide. Bromley's best chance fell to Lee Minchell midway through the second half. In a crowded penalty area, his low shot was well kept out by Boreham Wood keeper Grant Smith. The hosts then had 2 terrific opportunities to win the match. First, Ben Nunn's powerful shot from the right was well cleared off the line by Jack Holland. And right at the end, Nunn had another chance. He got on the end of a Femi Ilaznami cross, but Bromley keeper Ross Flickney incredibly saved. A point each edges both sides towards safety, but there may still be a nervous few weeks ahead if results don't improve.
So with a game in hand, Lincoln still hold a 3-point lead over title rivals Forest Green and Tranmere Rovers. Dagenham and Redbridge's form has dipped dramatically since the turn of the year. They need to be careful as Aldershot and Gateshead continue to chip away the points difference and edge nearer to those playoff positions. York City are off the foot of the table, and Gary Mills feels his side have what it takes to win all their remaining games. Southport are now bottom of the pile and are without a win in 7 games. They have the worst defence in the division, conceding more goals this season than in each of the previous 3. It could be a tough ask to survive for Andy Pruce's side. Just before we go, we have a huge match that could dictate the fate of the National League trophy coming up on Saturday the 25th of March. League leaders Lincoln City host title rivals Forest Green Rovers at Sinsel Bank, and it's all exclusively live on BT Sport 1 and on our 4K UHD channel. That's all we've got time for this week. Don't forget you can watch all of our shows back on our dedicated YouTube channel for free. See you again next time.
Look the part, play the part. Yakko sponsors Vanarama National League on BT Sport.